Thank you. Thank you to all of our panelists for being here today. Communist China is trying to dominate AI. They're trying to do it for a variety of reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is they think this is how they can dominate us militarily, whether it's through swarms, hypersonic missiles, attacking us through cybersecurity, that sort of thing. And semiconductor manufacturing equipment, or SMEs, is the ultimate choke point in this competition. Many people are familiar with the amazing lithography machines, EUV and DUV, for printing features on chips. Yet SMEs is much more than that. It also includes hundreds of other advanced technologies like testing machines, etch tools, chemicals, and specialized design software. Chips, models, and applications all flow downstream from this hardware. Despite pouring billions of dollars into domestic SME initiatives, Beijing still hasn't indigenized these highly complex technologies. That's why if you are going to control one part of the semiconductor supply chain, it should be the SMEs. Mr. Feith, do you agree that export controls on SMEs are the most effective way to leverage the limits of the PLA on its AI capabilities?
Yes, Senator. Thanks for your leadership on that.
The Trump administration pioneered using export controls on SMEs to blunt China's chip ambitions. Key allies eventually followed, but our lead has dangerous gaps, and those still remain. The controls are narrow and less restrictive, and they have loopholes. Foreign companies are backfilling the Chinese market with critical dual-use tools. This harms American workers, risks our compute lead, and fundamentally undermines our collective national security. As has been mentioned before, and thank the ranking member for mentioning it as well, I introduced the Match Act with Senator Kim. Not only, in addition, I'll throw out Senator Risch and Senator Schumer, also co-sponsors on that bill as well. And I would encourage this committee, as the ranking member did, to do a markup on this bill so that we can move on this as quickly as possible. Our bill prioritizes diplomacy first, giving the state and commerce departments a clear window to negotiate with allied governments and get the alignment, but it also establishes a firm deadline. If our partners refuse to align, the U.S. must must act to stop allied firms from weaponizing this technology and giving it to our adversaries like Beijing. Mr. Feith, do you agree that weaker allied export and servicing standards on choke points for SMEs create an unacceptable vulnerability in our strategy contain China's AI ambitions?
Absolutely. As you said, the Match Act looks to build on the first Trump administration's export controls on EUV lithography, which have been by far the most effective and crucial across years, and demonstrate the enormous benefit that we can get from these export controls. And I think expanding that in the way that the legislation points to make sure that we are aligned with allies as much as possible, and that we have additional lithography technologies like DUV immersion covered is really very important.
The Match Act provides a clear timeline for diplomacy, but we cannot negotiate indefinitely while Communist China continues to advance. If our allies fail to match our prohibitions within the bill's timeframe, do you support applying foreign direct product rule to close foreign compliance gaps? Mr. Feith?
Yes, and I think that reflects the record. I mean, it was the ability to do that and to negotiate with that possibility that has gotten us the best cooperation we've had over the last 8 or so years with the Dutch.
We do want to negotiate, but we also have to have a hammer, right?
Certainly.
If we don't act now to close these loopholes, we run the risk that Beijing indigenizes and dominates SME, just like they did for EVs and critical minerals. Do you agree that it is critical that export control loopholes are closed as soon as possible?
Yes, sir.
Be another reason why we should get the markup on this. China's civil-military fusion strategy ensures commercial breakthroughs immediately advance the PLA. And it eliminates the boundary between civilian technology and military end uses. By law, if Beijing asks, companies must hand over any technology to the military. The Pentagon understands this is a massive challenge. It just expanded a list of Chinese military companies, the 1260H list, and added several prominent consumer technology titans. The list restored memory chip makers CXMT and YMTC, but it also added 3 of China's top AI builders, Alibaba, Baidu, and Tencent. Because of this civil-military fusion, it is impossible to track or control any technology once it enters technology. That's why we have some of these other things like the Chip Security Act to mandate location verification technology is a key part of managing this challenge. We need to make sure that we have this. Mr. Feith, if China's military civil fusion economy, do you support the Match Act's appropriate countrywide controls as a choke point on SMEs and its efforts to apply this controls to other affiliates and subsidiaries?
Yes, certainly, Senator. And I'll just say quickly on the 1260H list and Alibaba, it speaks to the question that Chairman Scott also led with respect to Alibaba and the Anthropic distillation. Having them identified as military-affiliated companies, given military civil fusion, is very important. And we've got export control rules that come into play with that designation that are also valuable.
Great, thank you.